This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, hello everybody. This is Lou Salvatore again, and my friend Field Agent Brother Art Aguilar. Today we're having actually our first night in the spotlight. Our first gentleman, first brother night we're going to bring in. You're not going to know who he is. You'll know when he comes in. We're going to just tell you a little bit about him, and then we'll see if he lives up to what I say. This brother Knight is, I think, what I like about him is that he's humble. He's very unassuming. He's never willing to take credit for stuff. He's always willing to give everybody else the credit, and he's getting quite good at delegating stuff in his council. And I think that kind of I like the idea of this being a servant leader kind of thing, kind of not taking blowing your own horn. And what do you think, Art? What is your impressions of this guy that we're
I
talking?
totally agree, worthy district deputy. This person here has actually presented himself in the way of a total Knights of Columbus model that he should be, not just as a council member, but now as the newly appointed Grand Knight of his council.
Okay, so with that, then let's hope that now that he lives up to that, doesn't start coming in and blowing his own horn, then we're going to really feel bad. let me get him to come in here, and then we'll see, and we'll talk to him. We'll see this. That'll be interesting to see what he, if he lives up to that phrase, put it that way. Oh, here he comes. Hey. Hey, brother.
Hey, brother, how are you?
Wow, you're so I say something again because your audio is kind of scrambled.
Okay, one second.
Yeah, you have some terrible auto, worthy Grand Knight.
Like it's gurgling.
Sorry about that. One moment. How was that?
Last night it worked so well.
And
On it. Today I'm having trouble. I'm sorry.
there we go. That's
there
better.
You go. Now
Okay.
You got it.
Oh boy.
Okay, so Peter Guerrero is our first night in the spotlight. Congratulations, brother. You're the first one.
Hey, worthy district deputy, can you put the screens where we're all like side by side?
I'll try. Let's see.
Okay. Gentlemen, if you could just bear with me, I'll be right back. I'm going to see if I can grab another set of headphones. Sorry about that.
I don't know how we'll do that. Let's see.
Well, just okay. I just wanted to make sure that all three of us could be seen at the same time. It looks like it's only bringing in the person that's talking.
Oh, that's because you have it on your screen. Put it on your screen, everyone. Check everyone on your screen. Did you do it?
Not yet. Hold on.
On the top, yeah. You do the same thing too, brother Peter. Check on your screen on the top. Everyone, everyone who's talking on the top.
Okay.
Oh,
that way we can see everybody.
There it is. Perfect.
Right. Okay, brother. We've introduced everybody. We didn't. They don't know now. They know who you are, but they didn't know before. We didn't say anything bad about you. Don't worry.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay now? Or
yes.
Are we all?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Okay, brother. Let's get started. Brother Peter, just if you would, just if whatever you want to say, just give us a little background on yourself.
Sure. First of all, I wanted to say thank you, worthy district deputy and worthy field agent. Thank you very much for this incredible opportunity to be here with you and share this time on behalf of my council. I'm the Grand Knight for Council 16255, St. Joseph and the Protector in Vacaville. I'm the father of 3 young daughters, and in August, I got engaged to my best friend, Linda. I love reading and hiking. Oh, thank you. I love reading and hiking, playing the ukulele, and visiting new places. I'm the president-elect for the Rotary Club of Davis and a
Wow.
board member. Thank you. A board member for the Plan Giving Forum of Greater Sacramento. I grew up traveling the world. My father served in the United States Air Force, and that experience brought me to places like Europe and Asia and all over the United States until we settled down here in Vacaville. After graduating from Vanden High School, I continued my studies, and I went to the University of Hawaii for my bachelor's degree and Penn State for my master's.
Awesome. Very good. Okay, Brother Peter, I know you joined, obviously you joined the Knights of Columbus. So was there, I mean, how did you join? Did somebody just ask you to join, or was there like for me, I went into the pancake breakfast and I joined there. But is there something special that you saw in the Knights that you wanted to join, some event you went at, or it's just the normal, somebody asked me to join?
Well, I joined the Knights of Columbus in 2009 at St. Michael's Church on Joint Base Anacostia Bowling, that's in Washington, D.C. And it was something I wanted to do for many years. I didn't feel that I had enough knowledge at the time in my faith to make a difference, but one day my friend Sir Knight Ed Mays reached out and asked if I'd like to become a Knight, and that really changed my life, and Brother Ed and I are still friends today. So it's been a little over 10 years now.
Wow, very good. Thank you. Did you know about the Knights? I mean, before you joined them, have you seen them before? Did you know what they do? What did you know about them?
Yeah, well, about 20 years ago, I was completing my Catholic confirmation at St. Michael's at Travis Air Force Base. And my teacher at the time was none other than Sir Knight Larry Maston. And Brother Larry talked about the Knights of Columbus and what the guys in our class knew, that we could become Knights once we had turned 18. And I remember him wearing the old uniform, the chapeau and the cape, and thought one day I'd like to be a Knight too. And, I just remember reflecting on Larry that this is a man who really knows God and is living his life in service to the church. And 10 years after that, I joined the Knights and began my own faith journey.
Wonderful. Okay. If you would, tell us what has been your experience so far with the Knights. I mean, obviously you had some expectations of what you thought they were. Have we, as the Knights of Columbus, have we lived up to your expectations, or have we exceeded them? Give us a little input there, brother.
Sure. The Knights of Columbus have always exceeded my expectations. It's an amazing organization. I've been a member of 3 different councils since joining, and every single one of them have been making an impact on their local communities. It's through the Knights that I've made some great friends who are always there for me. They're there to help me and always there to pray with me. So awesome organization.
Great. What is it about the Knights? I know the Knights that we say, we do a lot of programs, we do a lot of, at least I call them ministries, not programs. Programs makes it sound like work, Is there some specific area of the Knights of Columbus that we do that you really, have a passion for, that really hits you good?
Yes. I love the Knights of Columbus because it strengthens men in their faith. I was blessed to hear Bishop Barron talk about the unaffiliated at the RE Congress last year in Southern California. And if you don't know, the unaffiliated refers to those who indicate none when asked about their identity for religious affiliations. And in the study, it showed that more than 75% of Christians will disaffiliate from the religion before they're 24. And when we're looking specifically at Catholics, for every one Catholic who converts, we're losing about 6.5. So the Knights of Columbus has really helped me from becoming an unaffiliated. Our service to the church has allowed me to put my faith in action, and actually becoming a Knight and becoming more engaged and involved has really helped me as a father and helped me guide my family as the head of my household here.
Wonderful. Okay. Now, finally, I have 2 more questions.
Yeah.
Finally, if someone now you're out in the middle of church, you come out of church, everybody's sitting around, and a young gentleman comes up to you and he says, I mean, I don't know much about the Knights. Can you tell me, give me an idea what the Knights are and why, why should I join? What's going to be in it for me as a young gentleman to join the Knights of Columbus organization where there is a majority of the older people? So why should I join, Peter?
I love this question
Yeah.
because I was that young gentleman once. I was. And so I would tell them exactly what a knight had once told me, and that would be, if they're looking for an organization that offers camaraderie and purpose and connection among Catholic gentlemen who share the same values and goals, he's found it. And then I'd tell him to go and connect with our membership director, Sir Knight Frank Martinez, and to follow us on Facebook, Council 16255.
Good answer. Let's talk briefly as my last final parting question. Then I'm going to throw it over to my friend Art. The spirituality in the Knights of Columbus. I think we feel it's a very important part of the Knights of Columbus. I mean, after all, our founder is a Blessed Father McGivney. So our spirituality is very important. So what is the level like in Council 16255? What is their spirituality level?
Yeah, we have an amazing council that's grounded in our faith, but when I'm looking at the Knights in general too, it's different from the other organizations that I'm serving in that it brings awareness to the faith while serving the church and the community. And when we begin our meetings, of course, with prayers, and we end our meetings with prayers, and we take time from our normal meetings just to pray for each other. I think our works are infused with the biblical means and purposes, and I think that's what really strikes me as the Knights being different or set apart from some of the organizations that I do serve.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. And I always say to myself when people ask me, when I ask to go to meetings and they say what's the difference in us? Well, we pray for each other. When we say brother Peter, brother Art, we mean it. It's not just the word, because it's a fraternity, but we have to call you brother. You don't have to. We do it because we want to. We do it because we are a fraternity and we care about each other. That's why we do the prayers and after the meeting, like you say, prayer for our deceased members, prayer for our people who are in distress. We mean it. So you're right, exactly. Now I'll throw it over to you, Art, and you got some questions for Brother Peter.
And I'd like to add a little bit to that. And Peter, you have the perfect answer to that question because, spirituality is one of the prioritized items that we have in the council that drives the entire process, right? We can do business meetings and we can do, these events and the others, but there's like the Rotary Club and all the other ones that there's some clubs that are not spiritually based, and we could be one of those, but that's what sets us apart from the others, because not only you come out feeling fulfilled spiritually, but you also come out feeling emotionally because you got a brotherhood that you can count on. So I just want to throw that in there. Again, I want to welcome you tonight, worthy Grand Knight Peter. I just saw you last night, so you did a really good job as usual.
Thank you.
I have a few questions for you myself. Okay, so they may be going a little bit around a little bit, but they do have a common theme. You'll see when I ask them to you.
Okay.
The first one is, what ideas do you have in recruiting more members, even during this pandemic?
Thank you, Brother Art. One of my first acts as Grand Knight was to appoint a public relations director, and we're doing great things in our council, and I wanted the public to know that. Our PR director, Sir Knight Dennis Tremethick, and his wife Edith are phenomenal. They've been updating all of our outward communication pieces, including the newsletter, our bi-weekly newsletter, our Facebook, our website, and currently they're looking into doing Instagram to reach out to a younger demographic. It's a really big job, and it's yielded great success. We've got 2 new members because of this Columbian year, and we also have a prospective third. So, I think it's often that we'll receive inquiries about membership, and we use that as an opportunity to teach a little bit about the Knights of Columbus.
Brother Art, brother, I'm sorry. I would just tell you, Brother Art, that, you know, in the beginning of the year, as a district deputy, you know how this works, brother. I have my outline for the plan for the year. What is the motto? What's going to be the goal for this year, right? And one of them was for each council to have a public relations director, right?
That's right.
I have 6 councils. There's 2 of them have done that so far. Brother Peter's council at St. Joseph's and Holy Spirit, and they were right on it. I mean, they jumped right on it. So I'm sorry to steal your time there, but I just thought I'd mention that to everybody, that,
Oh no,
you know,
don't worry about it. That's fine.
that they jumped on it, and they see, and they're reaping the rewards, because it's turning out to be a good deal for them. Sorry, go ahead, Art.
Yeah.
No, don't be sorry. We're both talking to everybody here. This is a nice forum to be in. Second question I have for you, and they get pretty deep, and I'm not going to lie to you. So, how do you feel, or what do you feel is the biggest need for council success?
Sure. You know, I believe that with God, anything is possible. And our council has been able to thrive during the pandemic because of God's grace and the works of our brothers at St. Joseph. Father Joshi has been super supportive in our efforts, and the brothers have been able to adapt to our virtual environments and pivot on the way that we do things. They were able to do that rather quickly. We have an advantage, of course, because we're a younger council. Our council was established in June of 2015, and so our council is very malleable in the way that we approach our goals.
So, with that being said, because a lot of the councils I have, and then I have 9 councils, going to be soon more, starting next year. And one of the things that their biggest challenge is, and they feel that it's success, to be a successful council would be to get some more money into the council itself. So that would lead, and that's the reason why I'm asking that question, because that leads me to my next question. Because obviously, for me personally, if somebody asks me what the biggest needs of the councils are, number one is by far spirituality. There's, you know, that's the number one goal. We want to go there and be able to know that we're serving the Lord and we're there with our brothers in fellowship, and that's part of the whole experience. But the second part is, yeah, it's fundraising, you know, as everybody knows. So my question to you is, have you and your officers have been able to come up with any fundraising ideas, especially during this pandemic?
Yeah, I love this question. I'm actually a fundraiser by trade. I have a CFRE, Certified Fundraising Executive designation. And yes, it's a great question. And, you know, I want to say that I'm really proud of our Deputy Grand Knight, Jim Fazzino. One of the new ideas that he's come up with is that he's created an insert or a buck slip for our annual dues letter. And he's asking Knights to consider support to other programs, you know, programs that our pancake breakfast would normally support. And since we're not able to do pancake breakfast, we're looking to other ideas. And, you know, so historically our pancake breakfasts would have paid for things like, you know, our wheelchair program or other areas in the Knights that, you know, our council members would like to do for the year. And so the buck slip, it's, you know, I want to say it's too early to see the results of that, but I am confident in his idea and his ingenuity here.
And just like add to that, Worthy Grand Knight, is that that's the whole point, or one of the biggest points of doing these virtual blogs, I call them, or as we talk about with the interviews, is to be able to have a common place for everybody to go in, such as you see on my particular photo there, my email address, have one common forum, and then everybody can go watch. And for instance, the other Grand Knights from the other councils can hear this and see what you are doing, and vice versa. So I'm glad that we are talking about this, because of the fact that there are some councils that have come to a complete halt because they think they can't do anything, but yet they can. So I have one last question, and then we're going to go on a totally different tangent on this one. Okay. So let me ask you this. As we all know, we have the fraternal and the insurance side of the order. Okay, so the questions I have for you is finally, okay, how are you going to champion the critical need of insurance offered by the Knights of Columbus and the Brotherhood to ensure that none of our brothers go into financial duress?
This is a great question, and thank you for this. You know, with the ongoing blight of the pandemic and the current unemployment rate, it's a very important time for all councils to be spreading the word about the insurance program with the Knights of Columbus. And Brother Art, you have been so generous with your time to join our council meetings. Our members are super excited to hear about the upcoming presentations on Social Security. And our council is committed to make sure that every Knight and their prospective Knight is aware of these benefits. We'll be advertising in upcoming events in our bulletins and social media channels. And we also want to continue to encourage the Knights to connect with you about insurance products that we've got. It's something that I bring up front into the meetings that we have, and something I'm always encouraging Knights. Our council in particular has a lot of business owners or people who don't have employment or insurance benefits through their current employer. And so it is something that comes up often and frequently. And we're very fortunate to have you as a field agent here to meet them where they are and have these discussions.
Yep. Awesome. That's awesome. So I want to, first of all, again, thank you for being here tonight. I'm going to put the floor back to our worthy district deputy and let him continue.
Well, thank you, brother. Yeah, you know, I'll tell you, Brother Art, that was excellent questions. I couldn't have never asked for it. It's brought out some good responses from Brother Peter. And I will say, you know, I go to these meetings, and these people can see, we talked before, Brother Art and I, about they didn't know who was going to be here, and they just had an idea that somebody was coming. And you lived up to the expectations, and then some. Right, brother? What do you think, Brother Art?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and one thing I will say about the council in general, 16255, they've always been a council that strove to they're not minimalist council. They don't like this is saying that there's not a danger in aiming too high and missing. The danger is aiming too low and hitting it. So they aim high. They're not satisfied with mediocrity. They're not a minimalist council. They never will be, I don't think, because they keep getting an infusion of young people in that council, and with leadership like Brother Peter. And I tell you, you're right, Brother Peter. Jim Pacino, it was going to be either you or him tonight, because he was another one and Dennis Chimethe,
amazing man.
Made this council click. And like I said, I had one of the other things that I had mentioned before the year started was that one was the publicity one, and the other one was I always said that my biggest pet peeve, and I say it, people are going to get tired of hearing it from me, but we have a lot of programs that the Knights of Columbus themselves don't support. So my suggestion had always been, when you do your council dues, when the financial secretary does his dues statement, you just give some boxes there, checkoff boxes for the Knights to say, okay, I'd like to donate also another $5 to the wheelchair, another $5 to the intellectual disability. You know, you get extra $20 and you just spread it out different, for different organizations. Because with 78,000 members in the Knights of Columbus, if everybody donated $20, you could put, we could donate it to our own causes. So what do? They have their publicity guy, public relations guy, and then I heard at my last meeting I went to that they're going to do the same thing at the billing. Brother Brian Purley, the financial secretary, said it wouldn't be an issue, and they're going to do just what I suggested. They're going to have people decide whether they want to donate to this or donate to that, and they're doing the plan, and it's working. I think, right, brother? I think it's working, right, Peter?
Yes, you're absolutely right. It's just this whole pandemic has caused us to get a little more creative in our approach, and I think you're absolutely right. And you're right too, Brother Art, in that we are sharing ideas here, and I love that.
Yeah, I will say, Brother Peter, not to blow your horn too much, but I think you're going to be you have a lot of potential to go a little further than the Grand Knight. And I always told you that before. He's really Brother Art. He's really maturing into the position. I mean, he's on what? Just how many months? Since 6 months, right? Half a year.
That's right. Yeah.
Totally agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I've been very fortunate to stand on the shoulders of giants, and we've got some amazing past Grand Knights in our council who have just been tremendous support. Brother Lou, you've been wonderful as well, and I've got a past mentor in Brother Larry, and my guys over at Travis Air Force Base too. So, yes, thank you.
Yeah, very good, brother. I hope you enjoyed this. I think it's going to go on Brother Art's website, right, brother?
Yes.
And we have and I have information here. Should I show it? My information and yours? Hold on.
Yes. Yes.
It's for everybody else. Let me share this for everybody out there. If you have this, the idea of this, right? The reason why I'm showing this, Brother Peter, is that if other people out there in the councils in the district, and you can pass this on to your council also.
Okay.
We don't just do interviews with Spotlight like this. If your council has somebody from that they're interested in hearing from, like a state officer or a state committee person for like the ID drives, Special Olympics, something like that, we can have them come in and we can do a live session, question and answer, and any concern, any questions you have about whatever program you want to hear from, just let me know, and Brother Art and I will get them in here, and we'll have a little meeting, a little seminar, if you will. So there's my information there, and Brother Art's information, and his nightartaguilar.com. That's where you're going to find, for you guys out there, that's where you will find this interview. I don't want, the idea is this interview to be just for the district. I've done other interviews with my priests and with my deacon, but that's going to be that goes out on my YouTube. This one is just for the district. And I appreciate you taking the time, Brother Peter. It's so nice of you. You always try to find the time, and that's good. That's very good. And when is your wedding?
We're looking at early next year, but with everything that's going on, it's been really difficult to plan. So we're looking, hopefully, and it'd be wonderful to have nights there and have all the guys come in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just don't know what that's going to look like. So
it's kind of awesome. I've seen weddings with color core there, with honor guard there. It's quite impressive. Yeah. Anyway,
yes.
Good. Anything else you want to say before we?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you, Brother Lou and Brother Art, for this opportunity. I'm honored to represent Council 16255 and be here to talk to you about the amazing work brothers have been up to this past Columbian year. I appreciate your hard work highlighting these members and members of the Knights of Columbus, and this was a wonderful experience. And thank you, and Merry Christmas to you and your families.
Merry Christmas to you too, brother. Okay, I'm going to turn off the recording.